It's almost been 3 weeks since I gave birth, so today we're gonna be talking about all the ins and outs of my postpartum journey. I asked you guys to ask me questions on Instagram, so today we're gonna be doing a little deep dive into how I've been feeling, how everything has been going postpartum. You guys asked so many questions. I could probably do a part 2 of this, but we're gonna try to fit it into one video. The first one was, what would you rate the pain of giving birth 1 through 10? I'm assuming 1 is the easiest and 10 is the hardest. And honestly, for me, I had an epidural and my epidural worked great. I really couldn't feel anything during birth, so I would say it was a 1. Then after birth, I would say probably like a 5. And let me tell you, it definitely would not have been that way if my epidural didn't work as good as it did. My legs, I literally could not feel. It was so weird. Even like the doctor would, or the nurses would be moving my legs around. If I wasn't looking at it, I would have no idea my legs would be moving. The next question, how well does Lena sleep at night? She does so good. We wake her up every 3 hours for feedings. Other than the feedings and like her having to be up for those because she obviously needs to eat, she'll just sleep, which is amazing. I don't know if that's pretty normal, especially with newborns. I feel like newborns just sleep all the time. And speaking of sleeping, someone said, what has been the biggest adjustment? And definitely sleep. Getting sleep just broken up has been a little bit of an adjustment. Now obviously it's not as hard on me, but that first week, oh my gosh, that was rough. It was hard for me to go back to sleep after every feeding. Now I feel like I've gotten the hang of it. I'll hurry feed her, put her back to bed, and then when she's in bed, I'm like, okay, I just gotta like close my eyes. The biggest thing for me has been to not get on my phone and to literally just lay there, close my eyes, and try to force myself back to sleep, and normally that works for me. Someone said, what postpartum product did you / do you use the most? I'm currently 14 weeks. That is first off so exciting, congrats. The products that I used the most were the Freedom Mom after birth kit or whatever. It came with like literally everything you need, which was amazing. And then I also got just like regular period pads. Someone said, how old is Lena? She's in my arms right now sleeping. She is almost a month old. In 3 days she will be 1 month old, and that is insane to me. It feels like yesterday that I was pregnant. The fact that she's here and I've been a mom for a month now is literally mind-blowing to me. Next thing I know it, she's gonna be a year old and then 10 years old. This one is probably my biggest question, and it is, did I tear it all? So yes, I did, but hardly at all. Honestly, I didn't even really notice it after birth because it was such a small tear and I can't feel the stitches at all. So my doctor did do like the, I don't know how to say it, perennial something massage. I'll put it on screen what it's called while I was giving birth, and I think that helps for me to not tear very much. You guys already know though, my biggest fear going into giving birth was tearing. Okay, so I got a couple questions and these ones kind of go hand in hand. So number 1, when did my milk supply come in? And I think it came in like 3 days after giving birth, if I'm thinking about it right. I'm pretty sure it's 3 days after giving birth. And the next question is, how's my milk supply and am I doing anything to keep it up? My milk supply has been good. I've had like little dips of where it like goes lower, but I noticed if I don't stay hydrated and I don't eat, that my milk supply will like dip a little bit. My priority now is to drink a lot of water throughout the day and making sure I'm eating good meals with like good protein. Someone said, comfiest outfits postpartum. These Free People jumpsuits are my absolute favorite. So it's like a full-on jumpsuit and it is so comfortable. I love it so much. So that's been one of my go-tos. And then just like sweat set or matching set. Next question is, how was the first walk right after birth? It was the middle of the night, but I had to go to the bathroom so bad and I was like, okay, I need to get up. Dallin went back to our house to go get me a sweatshirt because I was freezing in the hospital room. I did bring a blanket, but I was still cold. Of course, right when he left, I needed to pee so bad, so I had to call in the nurse and she had to help me walk. My epidural had mostly worn off at this point, obviously enough for me to like feel my feet and like walk, but they were still like kind of tingling. It just felt so weird walking after giving birth. Nothing crazy about it. I just had to pee so bad. It is so funny how many people are asking us about future kids and when we're planning on having our next kid. But someone said, future kids, now that you have one, what are your thoughts on future kids? We will have future kids eventually, but probably not for a couple years. I want her to be at least like 2, I think. I don't know, we'll see. But yes, I definitely want to have more kids. After having her, it made me want to have so many more. Next question is, when am I cleared to work out? So I have an appointment in 3 weeks for my 6-week appointment. My doctor will check me there and either clear me or maybe tell me to wait, but I'm assuming I'm gonna get cleared. Next question is, how was the dog life been? I'm assuming they're saying, how has the dog life been? Meaning kind of how was our dog. When we first brought Lena home, he was very curious and a little bit jealous at first, and now he like just loves her and wants to be right next to her. So anytime I'm holding her, he is almost always next to me. If she cries, like if she's getting her diaper changed or she's getting hungry, he will run into wherever we are. He, like, gets worried around her when he cries, and it is adorable. Something no one prepared you for. So after I gave birth, I got terrible shakes, and I didn't even realize this was a thing until I think I saw a couple TikToks on it afterward. But people will shake so bad after giving birth, and don't know if it's like the hormones or whatever. I was shaking so bad. I like had to put like these towels on me and not realize the shakes after giving birth were so common. But yeah, it was so bad, and I wanted like a blanket on me the whole time, and if the blanket fell off my arms or whatever, like it just kind of like hurt. I don't know how to explain it. It lasted like an hour or two after I gave birth. Maybe it was less than that. It felt like forever in the moment. This question is so good. Would you say that pregnancy tired is worse than newborn tired? I would totally say that. I am exhausted now having a newborn, but I could not sleep when I was pregnant. My back hurt, my tailbone hurt. I just could not get comfortable in the night. Now when I actually am able to fall asleep, I feel like I can actually get sleep, other than before when I was pregnant. I just couldn't sleep at all. Like I was tossing and turning constantly. I would way rather be tired from having a newborn than from being pregnant. And I also think that newborn tiredness is better because you get to see your cute little baby, but that is different for everyone. This next question: was I in pain when my epidural wore off? So the only thing that was very painful after my epidural wore off is my tailbone. I don't know what happened to my tailbone, but it literally killed so bad. It still hurts, not as bad as it did the first week after giving birth. I had to sit on like a little donut to help relieve pain off my tailbone. So that was probably like the thing that hurt the worst. It did hurt to like stand up and walk. It felt like I had to hold my tailbone into place when I would walk around. It wasn't as bad as I expected the pains after birth to be. Well, how was the epidural? I am so glad I got it. It did not bother me at all when they were putting it in. My IV in my hand actually bothered me way more than getting my epidural. I couldn't feel really much when they were giving me my epidural. Everyone scared me so bad for the epidural, but yeah, the epidural was not bad. It was a game changer. This is probably the biggest asked question, and it is, how am I doing mentally? After giving birth, I would say the first week I was very anxious. I have anxiety. I've had anxiety my whole life, but my anxiety was definitely heightened that first week after giving birth. That was another reason I had a very hard time sleeping that first week, was I just was constantly like looking at her and then trying to close my eyes, but then like looking at her the next second. I was just so worried that something was gonna happen to her. So we also have like this little thing, it's called an owlet. So it checks her oxygen levels and heart rate levels, and it like ring at you if something was going wrong. So I'm glad we have that. That also gives me another peace of mind. This is a good question. Someone asked, how do you get ready in the mornings? My baby is 4 weeks and I struggle getting ready. So what I do is she eats, it's about like this every single day. Sometimes it changes like off by an hour. Normally she eats a feeding at 5 and then 8. I will try to wake up around 7 and shower while she's still asleep before her next feeding. We have like a bassinet, and the bassinet just like wheels into our bathroom. So I wheel her into our bathroom, and then I shower while she's still sleeping, and then I'll get ready while she's still sleeping. A lot of times I don't have time to do my hair. This is my natural hair. So like today, for example, she ate at 5 this morning, and then I set my alarm for 7, brought her into the bathroom, showered, got dressed, and got my makeup done for her next feeding. Anyway, that's kind of how I do it. Sometimes I will just hurry and get in the shower, and then I'll hold her while I do my makeup. Getting ready every day has been one thing that I feel like has helped so much. Even just showering every day has been a big thing for me specifically. This next question made me laugh. So basically, when I was pregnant, my belly button poked out so far, it drove me absolutely crazy, but it was also super funny at the same time. Someone said, did it stay stuck out or is it back to normal? And it is back to normal, which I'm so glad. It is pretty much back to normal. It looks a little bit different than it did before, but not very much. Okay, well, I think I'm going to end this video here. Thank you guys so much for watching. Appreciate each and every one of you. I hope to see you in our next video. Bye, you guys.